Hey everyone, it's ThyWorm here and I want to give new players getting into Pagan Online 6 tips to get started. It is aimed at beginners, but seasoned pros might learn something too. Let's start. Tip number 1. Join the Discord. I will leave a link in the description, but one of the biggest pieces of advice is this: join the Discord. Pagan Online really has a great community which is carefully being cultivated. Developers are open and transparent about their game, about its strengths and about its flaws. The community is super helpful as well, with people creating a wiki, people creating content to help others, support for functional and technical issues, there are some streamers. You can find it all on the Discord and it is a really nice place to be. Whenever you need help, just ask your questions over there and people will help you out. Tip number 2. Take your time and enjoy the campaign. Some action RPGs have a pretty big focus on leveling fast, getting to the end game, completing your character build, that kind of thing. In its current state, Pagan doesn't have any of that. That's okay though, this is early access. There's a lot of plans regarding endgame, but right now it is a little limited. I would therefore recommend that you just take your time to learn to play the characters, take your time doing the campaign, enjoy the storylines, travel through the worlds, marvel at the scenery of some of the places you visit, because there is a lot to enjoy. Pagan Online offers tons of content and different forms of progression, so experience that and have a good time with it. Tip number 3. Think carefully about your starting class. Once you pick a class, you'll be stuck with it for at least a few hours. There are plans to change this in some sort of a tutorial mode, but right now, after you've picked your class, there's no way back. And this puts some people off. That's understandable, especially if you pick a class and you don't enjoy it. It is however not the end of the world. Unlocking other heroes is pretty easy at the start and you will unlock another hero in a couple of hours. I will put a link in the card to help you out with that. Also, if you haven't started the game already, it might be a good idea to check some gameplay footage of the 3 starting heroes, Anya, Istok and Kingwitch. Tip number 4. Save your epic crafting materials for now. There are big changes coming up in the next couple of weeks that overhaul the crafting system significantly. I would recommend everyone to hold off on crafting for a little bit, because this new system is supposed to make a lot of awesome changes. More balanced crafting experience, for example, an overhaul of the legendary system, and significant changes to reforging and crafting materials as well. So for now, especially as a beginner, I wouldn't spend too much time and effort on crafting, but rather save up those precious epic crafting materials. This way, you can leverage the new upcoming updates to use those materials for crafting. That's great for 2 reasons. First, the crafting in the near future should be a lot more fun than it is now. And second, the crafted items should also be a lot more powerful, especially legendary items. Tip number 5. Use co-op to your advantage. Some of the content in Pagan Online can be pretty brutal. Especially the requirements to unlock heroes like Valeria can be tough as a new player. Valeria is one of the coolest characters in my opinion though, and I really enjoy playing her. And it's just nice to have all the heroes unlocked. So what you can do is ask other people for help using the party menu. The Pagan Online community is very helpful and friendly, so you'll have no issues finding someone to help you clear a difficult mission in order to unlock new heroes. So make use of the co-op functionality. It's only added recently, it still has a few bugs, but it works really well and can make your life a lot easier and a lot more fun. Tip number 6. Don't be intimidated by the statistics and damage numbers. Pagan Online, especially at first, can be a bit intimidating. It's not Path of Exile passive skill tree kind of intimidating, but Pagan Online still has a pretty complex damage mechanism that uses multiple elements and also things like spells with physical damage. Concepts like these can be confusing, especially to new players, so my advice would be don't worry about it too much. You can just follow a general rule, which is that more might is good. Normally speaking, an item with more might simply is the better item. Yeah, it might contain some statistics that are not very useful for your hero, but that's really not a huge deal. Once you've become more familiar with the game and want to know how to gear up your character accordingly, I encourage you to check out my other videos. Quite a few subjects are covered there, such as damage calculations, statistics explanation and general tips and tricks about the game. I hope these tips helped you out a little bit. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, subscribe if you want to hear more about Pagan Online, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.